Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is up and getting themselves ready and motivated to conquer the day. And I want to get on and do this broadcast because there is something about the power of words, about the power of speaking something into existence, into being, into knowing, into expecting. And so even though it's bright and early today, it is 5 a.m. in the morning, it is the beginning of the day for some of us. However, I came to announce that today is the ending of the thing that you have been battling with that has caused adversity or chaos in your life. It is the end of the thing. So today I wanted to title this message on the dialogue called The Ending. And a long time ago, I remember that someone told me that you will understand that the beginning of something at the end you will understand the beginning. And so I've been talking to you guys about transition, meaning when you start out with a vision, a goal, an objective, a mission, something that you want to do, obtain, conquer, you start with the vision of what you want it to look like at the end in mind. But how many of you that have gone through your transition, which is the middle ground, showed up at the ending, which is right before, all the chaos and everything tries to stop you, before you finally make it all the way through the threshold? I mean, honestly, something has to try to stop you because it helps to build the resistance. It helps to build your perseverance. And that's that point when it says, how bad do you want it? And so then you get to the end, or what seems like the end, and you cross the threshold. But I personally believe that even though you cross the threshold, it is a moment in that time where it seems like you got to wait a little bit longer. Like you may have a contract that you're waiting, you've signed the papers, but you're waiting for someone else to sign the papers. So you've made up your mind of what you want to do, but the other person seems as though they need a little bit more time to think about it or contemplate, okay? And so you've crossed your threshold, and now the wait is for you to wait for someone else to do what they're supposed to do. And so in that time, when that person completes it, it becomes the end. But how many of you right before that moment start to think about the journey and have a moment just to pause and reflect on the journey? And you realize that when you get there, it doesn't feel like what you thought it would. Because like I said, sometimes in the middle ground, you're so tired, you have to press yourself. But then somewhere in the perseverance, you will get the extra strength that you need. I did a podcast a couple weeks ago that said strength will come to you. Because maybe that is what you were meant to develop. When we go through goals and visions and we start out and we start going, it is always, if you stop, that for one, you don't make it to the end, but for two, you don't see what you're made of. The vision is with the goal in mind, can be an outside vision. However, it is also meant to show you who you are, show you a new characteristic, show you how strong you've been and how you've persevered. It could show you how much more loving you are, compassionate that you are, more understanding, more patient, more gentle, more kind. Your goal, the outside goal is fine, but your vision is meant to make you into the person that can acquire the blessing. And so many people stop shy of it because they give up on themselves. They don't see that it's a bigger picture happening, which means you could be going through a transition and it's meant to transform you. It can transform your mind. often more than not, that is what it's meant to do. Transform your mind. The way you think about things, the way that you see people, the way that you respond and react. And some of us have made it. Some of us have transformed. However, we have little things on the outside, little nuances on the outside that cause what seems to be a disturbance or a distraction to what's actually taking place. But that does not mean that it has not taken place. Sometimes when you get into the new territory or the new place or the new position or the new relationship or start the business, what happens is that you start to feel like that old person because it's new to you. How many of you understand that when you get into something new, the old won't work? The old simply will not work. And this is where you have to develop your mindset, because you have to have new strategies, because the old won't work in the new. And all those moments right before you get into the fullness of the blessing are made to make you look backwards, to question, to doubt, so that you'll think that you're the same person, but you're really not. You're growing, you're developing, you're maturing, you're conquering. And for so many people, they look around and outside to determine if they have progressed into the thing that was calling them to be a different person. But you can't look at outside circumstances, because the development starts inside. If you look at your circumstances outside, you will never think that you have attained, because your circumstances outside are more than likely meant to look a certain way to help you to continue to not look at the things on the outside. It's a faith journey. Faith is your knowing. I do not care what it looks like on the outside. I know that I'm meant to be with that person. I know that I'm meant to be in that leadership role. I know that I'm meant to transform and change a person's life. I know that I am not like my parents. I know that I'm not like my friends and that I'm different. You have to have that knowing. And then when you get that knowing, oh my goodness, it is so many things that will start to shift, change, and transform to accommodate who you are. The thing that you're looking for will come to you. It will find you, because you're confident in who you are. You're unshakable in who you are.